The premise is that the divine human, who had contracted inward into the last anchor of life, which is the biological body, retains a capacity, and indeed, a present action, to stand in lower and higher worlds, or dimensions, part of their being, their consciousness if you would, and their DNA, tap into these places. Now the prince of the air, the spirit of the age, wishes to damage the sense of self, the identity, because the standing of the human in light is a sort of verticality, an upward standing, and the reaching into the heavenly places requires the house of masculinity or femininity, and the solidness and isolation of each, with conscious feeling and awareness. Because we cannot stand there in the upper with a void, but the void lets us stand in the lower dimensions. And when the sexuality and the house of either masculinity or femininity are found to be merely a fabricated little house, made of plastic and glue, or even not at all, the person trades on a low level. And if we are proud of the solidity of our own house of masculinity and despise the one whose house is empty or weak, then we also cannot attain to the heavenly places and their treasures, because such despising is a trade, an accusation, and we get entangled into the brokenness of the one we despise, and besides this, pride itself immediately drops us out of the standing in heavenly places. Because the void, which is in all of us, mindlessly and with enormous strength tries to rise up with a sense of value of self by way of pride, which is a false rising, because it is artificial. And I had a sense this morning that the Lord himself told me, "You are trading me for pride." And this must be a vulnerability for all teachers of truth, or the light, the parade of pastors and teachers who at almost every instance want to shine in the eyes of others by some splendid revelation or preaching, trading the Lord for pride, for 30 pieces of silver, like Judas, and we all are vulnerable to this, but humility lets us escape. Meanwhile, however broken, let us stand in the Lord Jesus, who is the only way. And I had a sense this morning he said, purity is a way. In this regard I had seen previously that intentional purity, in some movement of us, in whatever task, bends reality around us, it wobbles, as it were, the fabric of reality, so it is a way, it makes an actual path that changes reality, and may get us out of our troubles, but may not be strong enough to overcome another action. That is when we burn the fabric of reality around us with deep regret and envy, and those are reality-bending agents, in a manner of speaking. From Proverbs 15, but perverseness therein is a breaking of the spirit.